Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing and pressing the bell icon down in the corner to be informed of my latest videos. Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here, and in this video we're going to quickly go over the full patch notes for 0.10 patch for Escape from Tarkov. Been waiting quite a while to get hold of the patch notes for these, and I have to give a big thumbs up for Battlestate Games for producing such comprehensive patch notes. They're absolutely huge. Now I've called them out in the past for creating quite mediocre patch notes, not really giving as much information, but in this one, Jesus, they give us a lot. So I'm just going to go over some of the things that I think are the main points. I will of course put a link in the description to the full patch notes. I do suggest going and reading those because obviously there'll be things in there that you're looking to see fixed and I might not pick them up in this video. So starting first off, this patch will roll out next week. This is the first week of September. We're not given a day right now, but we're told it will be sometime next week. There is again going to be no wipe with this patch, so there will not be wiping anything at all, which I think is a first for quite a major patch. But I think one of the reasons for that is that there's not a lot of new content in this patch. It's mainly just bug fixes and optimizations, and I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the content that's in the game already. I just want the game to be made and put in a better state, and I think with this patch they're definitely well on the road to doing that. So the flea market isn't going to make it into this patch. That was one of the content additions that we was all hoping would be in it, but it's not quite ready yet. They said that it's a couple of weeks away from completion, so it will probably make the next patch, which will be 0.11, or it could have its own intermediate patch between 10 and 11. We'll have to wait and see with that one. So what are some of the things that have been improved? Well, they've improved network synchronization of doors, and that might sound like a daft one to some people that don't play Escape from Tarkov, but for those that play, it is quite well needed. And basically now doors should behave properly, and you've all been in that scenario when you've gone to open a door and you can hear the sound of it opening but you don't get the animation and you're unable to walk through because on your screen the door is still closed. Or if a squad mate opens a door, it will open for them but on your screen it doesn't open, and you'll simply see them ghost through the door and you're stood there waiting for the animation to take place. The synchronization of that is now going to be a lot better, so hopefully that will be done and dusted. That one, it'll be gone and doors will just behave as doors should. They've adjusted grenade synchronization. Again, this was another one where you would throw a grenade and the synchronization between you throwing it exploding and it affecting other players was always a little bit off. Sometimes you would throw one and the time for it to go off would seem to take an age, whereas on other people's screens it had already gone off. So hopefully that one's been tightened up now. There's a new redesigned system of network interpolation, improving the precision of movement, reducing delays, increasing hit detection. Hit detection is something that they've been working on quite heavily with the game. There's been a number of hotfixes and patches come out recently, and these are quite small ones. They don't put any patch notes out. They'll simply put a notice on their social media to let you know that they're going to be a small update happening and you might have extended matching times. But I've seen a lot of these recently and nearly all of them have been to do with hit detection and hit registration, so they're working on this one quite heavily and it should be improving all the time within the game. So for new content that is actually in the game, there isn't a lot of it. There are some weapon parts and mods for the SA-58 rifle. The Mosin rifle is now going to be included, and they've added a new skill, covert movement. So it's nice to have the Mosin rifle. Apparently this will be available on Prapor level 1, so it's going to be available for everybody straight away. I think that's good. It's going to come with no sight. The sight will be sold separately of course, but I'm looking forward to using this gun and just seeing how powerful it is, or not as the case may be. But yeah, only a few additions into this patch. As I say, it's all optimization and bug fixes this time. For AI improvements, they've improved the accuracy of grenade throws for all bots, so beware, bots are now going to be throwing grenades with a lot of accuracy. Before there was a little bit stupid with them, although my experience of them is that they always seem to be pretty spot on with them, so I think that's just me being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But yeah, they've improved the accuracy of bots throwing grenades. The common bots will now no longer aim straight for the head. So that was one thing that's been pulled up a million times by people, that bots just seem to snap an aimbot for the head. This shouldn't be the case anymore. Bots that have heard a firefight will no longer look towards a potential target, so they may hear a firefight and be triggered by it, but they're not necessarily going to move in and look for anybody, which is a bit of an odd one, because in real life, if you was a scav and there was a firefight, you're going to be drawn to it. But I think that's just to try and quell the amount of times that scavs seem to jump into firefights when you're going against other players. Definitely seems to happen a lot to me in customs, but I think that's kind of real life, so I'm not sure why they've turned that one down, but we'll have to see how it affects gameplay once we get the patch on and we get to play the game. Adjustments have been made to the bots' hearing so that they don't completely ignore players that are behind them. Now, I've always felt that scavs have always heard me coming. They always seem to turn around and look straight at me once I get to a certain distance near them, but apparently that wasn't the case. They didn't actually hear you at all. So, but now they will not ignore you, they will hear you and turn and, you know, ass rape you basically if they've got a shotgun. There's been quite a lot of optimizations made to the game: shadow performance, procedural animations, network traffic, etc. They've optimized character spawning in the raid, reduced frequency and severity of freezes on spawn. This was something that affects the game a lot. When you spawn in, you'll notice that there's a lot of stuttering and freezes as other people are spawning into the raid and bots are spawning in. Hopefully that has been optimized now, and it should be a lot more reduced. And there's been a lot of fixes to locations. I'm not going to go into them too much, but these are things that needed fixing on the maps and stuff like that. As I say, there's a link in the description so that you can go and check them all out, but they're too little and too minor for me really to go into in depth. There's a lot of interface fixes within the game, so there's lots of things within the UI that have been changed that should work better now. A lot of visual fixes, you know, slight glitches and things that didn't look right, things with scopes not looking right, maybe being too bright or too dark, reflections and things like that. Laser dazzle has been narrowed a bit, so it's not as bad as it used to be. But again, I'm not going to go into them in depth because there's just too many of them to go into altogether. But yeah, check out the notes and you'll get the full listing in there. They fixed some various errors, so various server errors that were causing desync and errors that were causing FPS to drop. They've been working heavily on these, so desync and FPS drops should be a little bit less now. Been a lot of miscellaneous fixes. They've fixed bugs causing problems with registration hits. Again, hit registration is taking a big hammering from the developers, trying to iron that one out as much as they can. They've fixed the rate of fire being linked to your FPS, which a lot of people had called them out on this months and months ago. Hopefully now they've started to fix that. You know, if you're playing on a potato PC, you shouldn't be at a disadvantage against somebody that's playing on, you know, a really beefy rig, because what you do on your screen and what they see on theirs should all be timed properly by the server, but it's never been the case, so hopefully that one's been fixed now. They fixed the bug where discarded objects fall through the floor. This is highly annoying if you're trying to share things with people in your squad. You know, you've got things that they maybe need to do, items that they maybe need to finish a task, you drop them on the floor and it vanishes through the floor. It's so annoying, so hopefully that's been fixed now. They fixed a bug with cells remaining unsearched when you're searching bags and things like that. Not all the cells get searched. You're trying to place things in and it won't let you because there's something there but you can't see it. That has been fixed now. That seems to have been very common just recently as well. Been some changes to the traders. Now the filters that you apply will only show what you have filtered and nothing else. So, and yeah, there's been, like I say, there's a lot of changes. I would recommend checking out the full patch notes. I just can't go through them all because I'd be sat here literally for an hour and a half doing this video. So again, as I say, optimization and bug fixing is the name of the game with this patch. There's not too much in the way of content coming in. There's going to be a lot more content added in the next patch, I think, and they do give us a little insight into what we will see in the next patch. That will be 0.11. Hideout is looking like it might make it into that patch. They do talk about it but don't give a specific patch date. The flea market, of course, will be in 0.11 if not before. They're also looking at voice over IP. They say that may be in 0.11. They're going to have a new rifle in 0.11. That's the Heckler & Koch 416. That will make it into 0.11. The compass will also also coming to 0.11. The Terra Group Labs coming into 0.11. That's the new map that we've seen images of before. And also medical animations, they say are 90% done, and they will be adding those into 0.11. Another thing that they've added is there are 2 new servers now. There is an Amsterdam server and a London server, so if you are in those locations you should automatically connect to those, but if not you can select them from the game launcher. So yeah, this patch I think is a really good one, getting straight to the heart of the game, fixing the things that people have been asking to fix for a long time. Of course this patch is probably going to cause more bugs as well. This seems to be the case with Escape from Tarkov. When they fix one thing it breaks 2 other things. So no doubt this patch will come out and there'll be a lot of hot fixes, there'll be a lot of issues, but you have to remember that this is beta and we all signed an agreement to say that we agree that there will be these issues. So, but I think it's good that there's no wipe. That is a big bonus, I think, and yeah, there's some good changes in this. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Some good changes there, I believe. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.